too.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. It is October 1st. We are back from our trip to Vegas. Y'all, we celebrated big. It was my 49th birthday. I'm finally a 49er. And you ladies helped a sister bring it in like you should. Did you guys have fun in Vegas?
Oh, so much fun. So much fun. And we had the best laid plans of doing a bunch of like shorts and videos and podcast things. And you know how much of that we did? Almost none. So we were having too good a time to do any production.
Yeah, and the funny thing is we really didn't sleep much. So that's the irony in it all.
You know, it was really hard to tell. Like, my son even tried to log on to watch us. He's like, oh, the show's going to be on. And my husband was like, I mean, it'll be 8 o'clock. Our time is 11 o'clock or whatever it was. They're like 8 o'clock, it's not time yet. And if they do it 8 o'clock their time, it's going to be 11 o'clock here. So you can't watch. And I was like, well, I'm glad you didn't try and wait up for us because we got nothing done.
Well, we're back now. So yay.
Hi, Gabe. Woo-hoo. Way to be a MVP of Girlfriends in Football, man. We appreciate you. So, yeah, we did all the things. We did the I did the Wizard of Oz at the Globe, at the Sphere.
Yeah.
Guys, if you haven't done that, like seriously, excellent time. We then went on, and for my actual birthday, we did Stadium Swim and watched oh boy, as much as we made fun of the Arizona Cardinals uniforms, we saw it in massive screen. We went to Stadium Swim in Fremont and saw it in like the biggest possible screen ever. And it did not look any better. I can tell you that. And it was just awful. I don't even know. I felt like it looked like, and this is wildly inappropriate, but also there's nothing. Here's what I said. It looks like really loose stool that splattered everywhere. And I'm so sorry, Arizona Cardinals fans. I am a healthcare practitioner. I have seen all the things. It doesn't even look like blood, especially when it was on the Jumbotron like that. It just, man, I'd be really, really, really upset if that is what I had to buy to support my team. So.
Yeah, I just can't imagine sorry, Cardinals fans who purchased that. I just can't fathom willingly going out to purchase that.
But also, like, you guys are the true fans. Like, I will put that out there. Like, if you're that big of a fan that you're buying that jersey, like, shouts out to you because you are a 100% fan. No doubt, no question whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Well, it's kind of
so that was
that same idea of we probably should shout out to that Aaron Rodgers Steelers jersey. That he owned it, he purchased it, and they're not. He's showing out. So I mean, shame on us for not trusting.
Right.
100%. He's probably watching us right now, like laughing because he knows. We then wrapped it up on Friday. We did a tour of Allegiant Stadium, the Raiders' home. Fantastic, beautiful stadium. Like, what was your guys' favorite part of that stadium tour?
Oh, for me, it was absolutely the nightclub. Not that I would go to the nightclub, but just the fact that there was a nightclub because it's so Vegas. And it was, you know, kind of tucked in an end zone. I mean, you could do it up in there, and it was so cool to walk through there and see that.
Yeah, I agree. That was a nice part of the tour. Beth?
My favorite part is the field. The fact that it is a grass field. Y'all know, if you've listened to us before, you know my thoughts on turf versus grass. The fact that like they roll the grass field out into like the yard in the back and water it and grow real grass and then slide the whole thing back in. It was so cool. I wish we could have seen the transition of it back into the stadium. But just that whole concept and the ingenuity that goes with it, I think was fantastic. So I loved the fact that they do that. And the fact that they can grow real grass in Vegas in its own right seems like a feat in itself.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. That was all fantastic. I also loved the artwork. Like they had Elvis Presley in a Raiders jersey. They had Marilyn Monroe as a Raiderette. Like it was really, really well done, really, really classy. I mean, listen, I'm a Niners fan. There's no way I'm ever going to support the Raiders whatsoever.
Right.
But I mean, I can avoid my peak petty and say that that is a beautiful, beautiful stadium. So shouts out to them. They get to play there, you know, for their home games. Actually, UNLV actually has their own locker room in there too, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. I mean, yeah, we were talking while we were there that how cool is it that you're college kids, right? And you're playing at the pro stadium, like that's your stadium. And yeah, it's just got to be a cool experience.
Yeah, I agree. So should we just go ahead and I'm going to peel the Band-Aid off. Niners fans, I hope you're out there. We need to band together because we have a situation on our hands. We are once again the #1 most injured freaking team in the NFL. God bless. I mean, I'm sitting there. Purdy's coming back. I'm thinking, great, this is going to be fantastic. I'm thinking he had a mild turf toe. Expected him to like look decent coming out, and then I figured he'll probably wear off as the game goes on. Maybe some things will look kind of ugly. Was hoping that this offensive line would really be able to protect him. Y'all, all the damn wheels fall off that wagon. Every single damn one. The bolts, everything, it all fell off. We was grinding on metal like it was a situation. I mean, 4 turnovers. Brock Purdy, bless his heart, doing the best thing he can do. He has no power in those throws. As we talked about on our podcast last week, turf toe, you can't come up on your toe and push off. There's just the kinetic chain starts at your feet and comes up through the hips, and then you get your throw. But if you cannot connect and get that initial push off with the big toe, it's just not going to come together. And you saw that with some of the throws that he kind of floated, and they were just easy to intercept. And not only that, as if things couldn't get worse, Ricky Pearsall, literally the wide receiver that was connecting and not dropping the damn ball, falls on his knee, falls on a bent knee, but it was kind of at an angle. So it's kind of like, maybe this is like a patellar. Maybe he just the patella kind of rose up out of the groove, which is kind of like a patellar subluxation. I thought, okay, we're okay. This is not going to be another Brandon Ayuk. This is not going to be another Nick Bosa. Like, we're cool. Until post game, he's talking about, oh, yeah, my knee's kind of tweaked. By the way, he didn't make it back into the game. And then he's talking about it feels a little unstable. Bro, I was like, I couldn't
We all know what that means.
It's like,
right.
I'm still trying to be very positive on Twitter. So if y'all saw my Twitter feed, I was not coming out and saying anything about ligaments. I'm like, well, he could have fluid in the knee, and that fluid in the knee can make it feel unstable. I really didn't want to freaking say it. So here we are. It's been announced. Ricky Pearsall's got a PCL injury. So we're going to talk a little bit about that here in a little bit. Brock Purdy is out. He's got re-aggravation of his turf toe. Juwan Jennings is out. I thought Juwan Jennings was going to go to the hospital. He caught a ball near the end, like just rose up. Defender came from one end, he was like a Juwan sandwich. Like he had 2 defenders that sandwiched him, but the one on his right side came up right into his ribs. He fell down holding the ball. I mean, literally, this was like, what was the movie with Tom Cruise where he show me the money? Like when he, like Tidwell, which Rod Tidwell comes down with the ball and he's just like, I got the ball. Like that was the Juwan Jennings. Boy was like hugging that ball. So you knew he came down with the ball. And then he starts rolling back and forth, like in pain. And I'm thinking, he just contused his liver. He has liver laceration. He not
that
only
was
like
a scary hit.
It was.
Watching it.
Right. So I'm like, oh gosh, rib injury. If it is a rib injury, I'd be concerned about the liver. They shot over to him and you could see where they were kind of pressing on right upper quadrant, which is where on the abdomen your liver lives. How about this, ladies? Juwan Jennings couldn't go into the medical tent because Ricky Pearsall hadn't left. Bro, we needed like
I'm
a surgery
sorry.
for injuries.
Just one after another. I mean, the hits just kept coming.
Literally. So
We're sorry.
obviously we lost the game. I mean, I'm surprised we didn't lose by larger than 5 points. I will give it to our defense. They showed the hell out. But I'm just going to leave that alone now. I've got it all out. I feel better now. I like emoted all the feelings, super frustrated. And here, like, could it, not that there's a good time for all this to happen, but now we have a Thursday night freaking football game against the Rams in our division.
Right.
And everybody's got time to heal. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's so early in the season.
Girl, you know when our bye is? I just found this out today. Our bye is the first week of December, Beth. Like, I don't think we can hang on.
Ooh.
It's going to be a minute. It'll be a minute.
That's late. That's real late.
But if there's a team that has survived all the injuries and have come through, you know it's the Niners. You know it. So
I appreciate positivity. Keep letting that flow, girl. Keep letting that flow.
Listen, I picked them this week and I didn't look at the injury report prior so I'm going to keep that positive because I need a win.
Oh my gosh. All right, Laura, talk to me about the Lions. How was their production this past weekend in week 4?
I mean, we won. We won that game. I mean, it was it was against the Browns, right? Yeah, we played the Browns, didn't we? And it was what it was. And to be fair,
the Browns have. Do we even know?
They had Flacco. They had Flacco, who was benched post game for one of their.
He came back.
He was.
Game too? Okay.
No, he was there, and now he's out. They're starting this week. They're starting Dylan Gabriel, which isn't even one of the quarterbacks I knew they had. So one of their thousands of quarterbacks. But so we won very handily. To be fair, I'm an old school Lions fan, and I watched a lot of terrible games. When it's so decisive for the Lions right now, it actually makes for a boring game. Like there's no competition. There's nothing's happening. We're just winning. But I mean, we came out, we just pedaled to the metal. We had, one kickoff, Ryan Bucket kickoff for a touchdown, which is pretty awesome. We just kept scoring. It was great. But it was kind of dull because there wasn't a competition happening. But I'll take it. I will take any win. I'll take the ugly wins. I'll take the fantastic wins. I'll take every win we can get.
Yeah, I would too, Laura. I would too. Beth, Josh Allen and the Bills just keep looking like they are the team to beat in the NFL. How good is it to be part of the Bills Mafia?
I'm keeping my mouth shut because that's not things we talk about. It's fun. It's fun. I am still very concerned about our defense. There's no reason, these scores look better than the game actually is. It's because we have Josh Allen and we've got James Cook and we've got some other playmakers that are just making big plays. But our defense still has a lot to be desired. 31-19 is by no means a sorry score. I'm so glad we did it. Josh Allen had 3 touchdowns, 2 passing and 1 rushing. So he is now tied with Cam Newton for the most games of having a rushing and a passing touchdown in NFL history. And he did it in 50 games less than Cam Newton or something like that. So there's only up for him as long as we keep him healthy and protected, right? It's fun to watch them. They're a fun team. Laura, I know you don't like watching the Lions when they're killing people. I love it watching the Bills kill people. I think
don't get me wrong.
They just have so much fun. Like the Bills squad right now, it's just a bunch of dudes having a good time. And I think that's part of what's so fun to watch them is that there's yes, they're superstars, but nobody like needs the spotlight. Nobody wants to be the spotlight. They all just want to go out and win a game. So like there was a lot of talk earlier about how Josh isn't making huge throws. He's making all short passes. There's so much run game happening, all these other things. And he's like, but we won. So like, I don't care if I get this record or he gets this record or whatever. We're not here for that. We're here to win. We're here to keep winning. We're here to bring the Super Bowl to Buffalo, right? Like, so it's just fun to see them be a team and be friends and be a community, right? It was a good game to watch. I only got to watch some highlights here and there. It was not on in Atlanta because the Falcons were playing. So I had to watch them instead. But they also won, so I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, yes, they did. Yes, they did. So I did have this on my notes. Beth, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about George Kittle. I mean, I love the guy. He is cray cray. What's up, Terror Dome? He's in the house. Hey, buddy. We're about to go over some injuries, so you're just in time. And you did not miss the drink recipes, which I know that you enjoy. So stick around. Those are coming up next. But I actually watched the Kittle things. So it's Kittle's podcast with his wife, Claire, and it is fantastic. So I happened to click on because he just interviewed Christian McCaffrey. And honestly, like, I really did Christian McCaffrey after this. Like before, I mean, obviously I thought he was a workhorse. I had this thought of him of just like, I am a workhorse, but like seeing his personality on like just chilling with Kittle was fantastic. But I say this because there was a situation they were talking about with Josh Allen. And so they were really giving Josh Allen like the elbow, like, ha ha ha. There's a competition, and I guess Christian McCaffrey got second, or no, George Kittle got second behind Josh Allen. So it's like a funny part. So if you have any interest, very entertaining. My faithful out there, I know you've probably checked in on the Kittle things. If you haven't, very, very entertaining. Awesome situation. Awesome podcast. So check that out. So let's carry it on. We've got some things to share. So let me head on over to here. So let's go ahead and let's talk about, I don't know. I think we should probably just go over the injuries. We're just going to go over injuries.
Get those out of the way.
He's like, can we just be done with the injuries? Can we move along?
All right, guys, here we go. This is our sports and medicine segment. I am Desi, a physician assistant has been practicing for over 25 years. We've got Dr. Beth Lowe, who's a doctor of physical therapy. Together, we'd love to go over certain injuries in the NFL. It's just an opportunity to learn about anatomy and learn about things that are health related and the NFL. This week, we did just talk about that Ricky Pearsall has a PCL injury, but not just him. It's Mac Jones. And, we've seen Lamar Jackson have a PCL injury in the past. These seem to be kind of out there. You will see these types of things. So I'm just going to cover a little bit about the PCL. Let's see. So here you go. In this image, let me see if this image is better. They're both kind of hidden. I think this one shows it better. So if you look in the center of the knee, there is a line that points out the posterior cruciate ligament. That is your PCL. Everybody hears about the ACL, which is the anterior cruciate ligament. So something to note about the PCL is a lot of times you can injure this ligament and it doesn't necessarily mean surgery. In fact, it's kind of rare for a PCL to require surgery. It is stronger and larger than the ACL. But in terms of what happened to Ricky Pearsall, these injuries, what the PCL actually does is you have the femur on top of the tibia. And so what the PCL prevents is that posterior relation. So it helps to not shift that tibia, the lower leg, on the femur. So when you fall down on a bent knee, like Ricky Pearsall did, guess what that did? It pushed the tibia, the lower leg, back, away from the femur, and it stretched that PCL. So the question is, when do we expect Ricky Pearsall back? Well, there's different grades to a PCL injury. There's everything from grade 1 up to a grade 4. The 3 and the 4 have tears in it, complete tears. So we're looking at maybe a 1 or a 2. The reason why I'm leaning towards a 2 is because with a 2 comes that feeling of instability, which is kind of what he complained about. So, Beth, can you talk to us about timelines for a PCL grade 1 versus grade 2?
So I cannot. No, I can. So PCL, like she was saying, like Desi was saying, we're not looking at surgery. Very rarely does a PCL require surgery. Even if there's a full tear, they do not always do surgery, just because you can get away without it. Football players usually need it a little bit more, but it's still something that you can get away living with day to day without. A grade 1, that's just a minor stretch again. You're not going to be dealing with anything long-term. Chances are you'll be back in a couple of weeks. I think we've even seen a few people come back within a week. I do not know, Desi, do you know, was he placed on injured reserve yet?
He was not. No.
So they may not place him on injured reserve. They may wait another week and kind of see how his healing process goes, and see how he feels with that instability feeling, and let him run and try a few things first. Grade 2, you're probably looking at 4 to 6 weeks conservatively. Chances are he'll be back before that. So as ugly as it sounds, Desi, I don't think you are going to be out of luck for very long.
Love that. So there you go, Niners. We have some positivity here. He is out for the game this week, which is probably to be expected. It does need time, but the good news is we have a short week, which means he has longer time to recover. So it may be 2 full weeks before he has to worry about being suited up and ready for game time, which also leads me to want to talk briefly about Mac Jones, because he was held out from the game on Sunday. They opted to put Brock Purdy in because Mac had kind of tweaked the PCL in the game that he played the week before. So they were probably trying to give him time to heal that PCL. He is probably going to be 10 days out from his rest and recovery. He actually came off of, he was able to practice. He's at full practice. So we know that he's going to be suited up. They've already announced that Brock Purdy is out, Ricky Pearsall is out, and Juwan Jennings is out. So for those that were like, why did they suit up Brock Purdy? Well, probably because they needed to give Mac a little bit of time. And if they could get by with Brock, they're going to get by with him. Brock's, I think, probably another couple weeks out from seeing his next play. So we'll see. So that's everything.
So Brock Purdy just seems like he keeps irritating it. And if it's not his shoulder that he's irritating, it's his toe. And so he really needs to, hopefully can take a couple weeks and a good stretch to let all those things settle.
Agree. Okay, so now we want to get into Tyreek Hill. Guys, this is going to be a bit graphic, so if you have a stomach that's a little sensitive, you may not want to see this image. But this is what happened to Tyreek Hill. They were playing in Miami against the Jets. He was getting tackled by his right leg. His left leg hyperextended. It went fully straight. So it locked into a straight position, hyperextended, and then it twisted. It bent sideways. And so I'm going to show you an image. It's a still image. That's what it looked like. So if you can see on this picture, his foot is twisted inward, and that is because his entire lower leg has been twisted on its knee. So I will take this back off. I just wanted to kind of briefly show that. Sorry, Laura.
Oh, no, I saw it.
The rest of us are like, ooh, what happened?
I've seen more clear pictures of it, so I appreciate you showing us the one that was straight on and not quite as graphic.
Yeah, you didn't want to see the dangling happening. But so this is what we call a knee dislocation. So again, I'm going to come back to the picture with all the ligaments. So all of these ligaments, the ACL, the PCL, the 2 ligaments on the 1 ligament on the inside and the outside of the knee, That's right, Pterodome. Obvious deformity. We call it 911. That is not a lie. So all of these ligaments, these 4 ligaments, help stabilize the knee joint itself. And then you've got these shock absorbers inside. But when you have an injury like this, you tear a good portion of these ligaments. It creates instability. So as I mentioned, Tyreek's lower leg was twisted in the wrong direction. The biggest problem with these injuries and why you would call 911, Pterodome gets gold stars today. Yes, you dial 911 if you see this injury in real life because, yeah, Gabe was watching that. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with the leg. So this is, let me show this one first. Where is it? Oh no, all right, we'll go here first. This is the nerves of the knee. And so you can see the yellow, all these yellow lines on the graph on this picture are nerves. You have the popliteal nerve in the in the back of the leg. You have the perennial nerve. Can't speak today.
Got it. You're right. Perennial nerve.
Perennial nerve that you see it's on the outside. So you can see the 2 bones of the lower leg. The bigger bone is the tibia. The smaller bone on the side is the fibula. So that nerve, the perennial nerve, wraps around the head of the fibula. Where Tyreek's injury was on this side of the knee. So you can stretch those nerves. That nerve goes down to the lower leg and it actually allows for your foot to lift up. So if you lose that nerve, you'll end up with something called drop foot. That is nerve damage that is horrible. You cannot lift your foot up. You try to walk, and actually, you know who has this is Alex Smith from all of his surgeries and injuries with his leg. He has a drop foot, and he uses what's called a PFO, but it's a special one that's kind of like, I don't know if there's like a electronical part to it that it automatically lifts his foot as he walks now.
So there's
but
a
he
lot
does.
of different ones out there. Yeah. So a lot of them now it's an e-stim machine for the most part. So it stimulates the peroneal nerve to dorsiflex the foot with each step. So there's a sensor in the shoe that you wear, and then there's also a sensor up on your shin where it just stimulates at that nerve. And they're pretty cool. They've got several different ones now, but it's a game changer for people with drop foot.
Yeah, so that is definitely something that is not ideal and something that you worry about with Tyreek's injury. Yes, Pterodome. So to your point, he says, wow, drop foot is a career ender. Yes, and this is what I tweeted out. I said, I just saw Tyreek's injury. It's a devastating injury, could potentially be career ending, and that is why, because you don't know whether or not there's nerve damage. And furthermore, this was the other image I wanted to show you. This is the vasculature. So this is the artery. Arteries are what supply your muscles and tissue with oxygen and nutrients and all of that. So when you have a devastating injury like this and there is a dislocation, you could put stress on what's called the popliteal artery. That is this giant artery that goes down the back of the knee, and that supplies all of the blood supply to the lower leg. And so if there's a slight tear in that, or if there's a complete tear, that is potentially life-threatening and limb-threatening. So the fact that Tyreek, I mean, first of all, if you noticed, he had a knee immobilizer on him as he was carted off. He had a smile on his face. Probably they were able to what we call reduce the dislocation. That means they were able to put his knee kind of back in place, put it in the knee immobilizer, which is the first thing that you need to do, and then sent him off to the hospital. It's why he had surgery so quickly, because a lot of times they like to wait on some of these types of injuries, but not this one, because they need to get in there, they need to check the nerves, they need to check the vasculature, and they need to make sure that they can get this knee stable. So this is a devastating injury. They've already come out and said that he had a great surgical outcome, and they expect full recovery and for him to be back next season. I would pause. These types of devastating injuries have a higher risk of complications afterwards. Think about what Alex Smith went through. Obviously, he had a compound fracture, a little bit different. but this is still a devastating injury. And so you're not out of the woods. I would say if he does well by the end of this week, I think you can safely say he's out of the woods. And if he's neurologically intact, then that's definitely an optimistic start to the healing process. Beth, do you have anything to add? Anything you want to say in
No, I
addition?
think what you were saying is accurate. It is such a severe injury, and just when you sit here and talk about people coming back and players coming back a year after ACL, a year after Achilles, it still isn't the same, and it takes a while for them to really get their game back. So, same idea. I think we're looking at a 2-year progress if he's able to come back and play at his full potential. He's a great player. I truly hope that he does come back and he's able to do it. But these are bigger than just stretches and tears and smaller injuries. So all the best wishes to you guys.
Yeah. And Terradome writes, and then I thought Alex Smith had complications with infections. So he had a couple of different complications. Alex Smith had something called compartment syndrome. You have a couple of muscles in the lower leg that have a thick band of tissue, a fascia that surrounds the muscle. And when you have enough of swelling that happens, the swelling can't expand out, so it swells in on itself. And that compresses nerves and vessels to the lower leg. And so that requires emergent surgery, what's called a fasciotomy, where they open up the tissue and allow it to expand. And so from that, because he had to have the fasciotomy, he subsequently then got an infection. I mean, Alex Smith's story is really incredible. The fact that he was able to overcome that and come back. Remember, he came back and played a couple snaps in the NFL. I mean, that man is different, truly. So again, devastating injury to Tyreek Hill. Say what you want about him personally or what have you, but he is a dynamic player and was always exciting to see on the field. It'll be a big loss to the NFL if, for the rest of the season, not just to his team. All right, so now we got over the injury hump. We're going to leave that there. Hopefully that's the last time I have to talk about an injury on my Niners team. So now let's carry on to some fun stuff. So let's chat. This is my favorite intro, so let's start with this. Hey, all right, guys. Week 4 did not disappoint. We had some amazing outfits to select from. We have a bigger selection every week, I feel like. I'm easily putting in 10 slots every week. And we had Montgomery. I know, Laura, you were a big fan of that one. He had his Eagle Scout sash, or what was that?
Yeah, no, he is a legit Eagle Scout. He is a literal Boy Scout. And so he just showed up in basically a hoodie and slacks and his full-on Eagle Scout sash, which A, makes him a great big nerd, and B, makes me love him so much. And I loved that we threw that in there too, because it wasn't like it was, the most stylish or the most this or that, but what I love about it was that it really showed who this guy is. And I mean, he is absolutely the Boy Scout we think he is. I mean, he's a vegan. He is all kinds of things. And to see him with his sash on, I mean, it was just so adorable and so nerdy, and I loved it.
All right. And Beth, you had a favorite, and it was giving, I think, you said, I don't think you said it. Somebody else said it was giving Prince, and you said it was.
I don't know.
It was something else?
I don't think so. Did I?
I don't know. You were in love with it. So talk to us about.
I did love it. I don't know. It just.
For who was it? It was DJ.
DJ Taylor, I think. Yeah, he was just styling. And I feel like their team so frequently has the Cincinnati Bengals always have good looking players, right? They're always dressed. There's always somebody who can find on their team. And I had not seen him before. I think even when I sent the picture, Desi was like, who's that? And I'm like, I don't know. Let me find out. Because I don't think he's shown out like that style wise, but it was like this great kind of mustardy yellow, bright suit, big lapels, open chest. he was feeling it. And I loved how much he just ran with it. So
I feel like it not only was it giving Prince, it was giving Mambo #5. Do you remember that video back in the day? Like I feel like that was missing and
little Latin flavor to it. I can see that.
yes. So
I can
here's
see
the
that.
fun, though. The winner was, stand by, Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's a wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks, and he came up in all black, looking super fine. Had a nice, what is it? I don't know which bag that is. I don't know if it's a Louis or what it is, but he's got the cowboy hat. He's got the jewelry on. The tats are showing. Like he just got this look of like, I mean business. I mean, I was really feeling this outfit. So congrats to Jackson. You won Rate the Fit this week. So shout out to you. And that's yay, golf clap to Jackson. So let's carry on to I just want to go back to Tara Dome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He said incredible insight, Coach Desi. Been learning from great ladies since birth, mom, kindergarten, college, Coach Desi and Girlfriends in Football. We appreciate the love. Now on to your next favorite segment, Tara Dome. This one's just for you. Actually, you may not like it very much because we're highlighting someone that we used to cheer against. But ladies, let's take it away. Let's go ahead and give you the intro for our next segment, Cocktails and Mocktails.
Yes!
Yes! Love it. All right, so who's going to start here? We got Deadly Sin.
So in honor of our trip to Vegas, our past trip and visiting the Raiders stadium and all of that, we chose Deadly Sin this week. It is a really nice bourbon drink. And Laura actually said something funny that we had a drink very similar to this when we were in Vegas. So I guess it was very apropos.
Right.
It's sweet vermouth, orange bitters, bourbon, and maraschino liqueur, which I had not had before, but it actually tastes really nice in it. Throw in a maraschino cherry and you're off to the races. Super easy to make. I'm trying really hard this year to keep fewer ingredients, easier to manage, and just good sipping, drinking cocktails. So here is to Deadly Sin.
Also, I don't remember that drink at all, so we're not going to talk about that because what
You
stays
didn't
in
drink
Vegas,
that one.
what happens at Vegas?
You didn't drink that one. I had 3 of them. If we're gonna, because what happens in Vegas does not stay in Vegas. I had 3 of them, and they were absolutely delicious. Like a Manhattan style drink with the vermouth and the bourbon.
Yeah.
But then you add that maraschino, and yeah, it just has a really cool flavor profile. I really liked it.
For someone who you said before that you're not a big cherry fan.
No, I don't like physical cherries. I don't like the actual act of a cherry, but I like cherry flavor. So
fair. Okay, well, good. Then I'm glad that this drink hit the right spot. Then
it's really good.
He said that's a grown folks drink right
and
there.
that's what's kind of nice about it is that you can have. This is not a tailgating drink. This is.
Oh yeah, no. This is a sipping drink or a
tailgating.
we're at the club in Vegas for several hours, and I have 3 of them.
I mean.
Oh, okay. So we're going to move on to those who do not drink, or for those who just want something that's refreshing without alcohol. We have the Smoky Maple Elixir.
So again, I am trying to avoid super, super sweet mocktails because I feel like sometimes they just turn into too much of a fruit juice, right? So I have not made this. However, I really do want to. It has liquid smoke in it, apple cider vinegar, and black tea. And I feel like those things will just really give a good, strong bite to it, which is probably not that far off from what we're drinking right now with alcohol in it. Very simple again, outside of getting liquid smoke, everything else you should have in your cabinet already. So give it a try. And if you do try it, let us know what you think because I'm excited about trying this one.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. Also, I love that the actual Deadly Sin is a grown folks drink. Yes, it is 100%.
So
all right.
We didn't talk player.
Yes,
we talked Vegas,
That's right.
but we didn't talk player. So the other thing that we're trying to do is teach, right? We talked about teachable moments. And so the person that I wanted to kind of bring up from the Raiders that I think also had a fantastic game this past week was Max Crosby. He is a defensive end for the Raiders, and he had a outstanding game this past week. So I wanted to give him props for his playing and for the drink. I also wanted to share kind of a couple cool things about him. One of the things that I found extremely interesting is, do you know why they named him Max with 2 X's?
No.
Oh, no.
Because he was born at 11 pounds, 9 ounces.
Holy crap.
I'm gonna pray for his mama right now.
Right?
Yeah,
Right? They had to break his collarbone to deliver him.
oh my gosh.
I'm mad that they didn't do a C-section. Sorry,
so,
well,
he is, I don't know if he was born in the US. He is Albanian and Serbian descent. So I'm not sure if it was in the US that he was born or if it was.
I think he was, because he is from Michigan. I believe he was born in Michigan. He was definitely raised there.
He needs to be sued.
Right.
That's horrible.
we're petitioning now. We are petitioning now for Mrs. Crosby's uterus.
Max Crosby, buy your mama the biggest Mother's Day gift.
No kidding.
Ever. Like, she deserves all of it. In any case, so he's a defensive end. So we talk about positions and what they all do. And so what does a defensive end do? He's not an offense, Desi. He's a defensive player. He has your heart. I know that's what you live for, your defensive players, right? They end up, I'm going to lose it now because I was just drinking. Too much of the adult drink. Their primary job is to pressure the sack and the quarterback, right? So their job is to get in there with all their speed, all their force, and just rush the front line. Sometimes they're set on the edge so that they can keep track of the running backs that are trying to come through the side, but they often also will be on the pass rush and be in the guys that are rushing the quarterback when you're trying to quarterback. Jesus.
They'll be the one to tip the ball. They'll be the one to get that hand up
and in the way. So in any case, he is a fantastic defensive end. He had a great game. Watch football, guys.
And I do think we have to tear down. He was born in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Ohio all at the same time.
Also, yes. God bless his mama.
Yeah, and I just looked it up. He's from Lapeer, Michigan, which is not far from where I grew up. And I know that the Lions wanted him. I mean, they couldn't pay for him. But could you imagine a team where we have him and Aiden Hutchinson? Oh, my gosh. We'd be unstoppable.
No.
Yeah. Well, with that said, we're going to move it all along to all right. It has been announced the Super Bowl halftime show for this year is none other than Bad Bunny, and everybody has lost their collective minds.
Seriously.
Let's chat. Kick the feet up. What do we got to say?
I mean,
I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, I agree.
Listen, I'm trying to learn Spanish. So
you're trying to what?
I'm trying to learn Spanish. So this is one way that I can learn Espanol, right? And like he captured my heart in what's the golf movie with Adam Sandler?
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore too. He was brilliant. Like, I am here for it. I will watch it. Bad Bunny, the girlfriends love you.
100%.
Like, you know what? And those are the things that make these shows great, is that you get to see those different artists and you get to, you know, the exposure that he's going to have for the people that may not know who he is going to be awesome. There's always going to be a hater. It's going to happen. But I think overall it's a good pick. Good job, NFL.
Yeah, and let's give a shout out for the fact that we're putting Puerto Rico in the spotlight. Like, it is a U.S. territory. He is a U.S. citizen. This is not, we're not doing anything weird and crazy. So yeah, I think it's great that we're putting Puerto Rico in the spotlight on this one.
Oh, Terradome does have a point. The Super Bowl is in San Francisco. He feels we should have a Bay Area group. Terradome, is it Saweetie that's in the from the Bay Area? I don't know if she's PG enough to be put on the Super Bowl halftime show. But no, I mean, you make a great point. So that is a point that I would say is debatable. But I don't know that the artists that have been chosen have been classically from that specific area.
No, no. I remember when the Super Bowl was in Detroit. It was the early 2000s. We definitely didn't have any Detroit area artists at that. So maybe like one, as like, here's showcase. But yeah, it wasn't like they had the Four Tops or they had, whoever was Aretha Franklin, right?
Yeah. What about Eminem?
Eminem performed at the one in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it
so
wasn't
I think
the
it's
Detroit
the same thing. Like the Atlanta, when it was in Atlanta, like they did a crap job of picking Atlanta artists for it. And then 1 or 2 years later, it was like Atlanta took over the Super Bowl. So I don't know. I agree. I think maybe if they're trying to do that Terradome, it would be a great thought process for them to start planning. But it sounds like they just throw shit in a hat and see what comes out. So yeah, I still think it's going to be good. I still think it's going to be good. I'm excited.
I'm excited. I mean, I think
who's going to be with them.
Yeah, that's what'll be the fun part is who's going to perform with him because there's always fun surprises.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Well, all right. Well, let's carry this out because we're coming to the end of our show. And so let's go ahead and look ahead to week 5. Here's our picks. Like Beth said, she did not see the injury but before she picked who was going to win the Thursday night football game. So it's 49ers Rams. You know what? Part of me actually, like maybe it's the very optimistic part of me feels like we still could win. I mean, if there's all these players that have never played before, maybe like Sean, maybe McVay is like, I don't freaking know what this person's going to play like. We don't have any tape on him. So, there's always that element of surprise. Also, we never talked about Sean McVay. He's injured and he's coming back from injury. He tore his plantar fascia, right? It was a rupture of the plantar fascia.
Which honestly, I didn't know you could do.
Same.
Me either.
When I heard that, I was like, really?
And I wanted to make a joke, and our show went too long. I never talked about how the outfit he wore to the game that day. I was like, it must have been those shoes. Bad joke. But if you saw the picture, you might actually agree. Anywho, he probably had like chronic plantar fasciitis, and then one day just went to heck. So, he loves our little hats and scullies. I know, it is cute. That's all Laura.
I do love that we all have our team hats, though. That was my favorite part about making these little bubbles was that all 3 of us have photos of us in our own team hats.
Yes. So, Laura and I picked the Rams. Like I said, I'm optimistically hopeful that maybe it's just confusing enough, but the Rams have Puka Nacua. They've got Matt Stafford. They have a great defensive line. It's going to be, I don't know. It's going to be, let's just say I'm going to have some of the beverages that we displayed tonight. I will have probably a couple and drown some tears in it, but that's Thursday night football. So then let's move it all on. So Laura, you take it since this is your image here. I'll let you carry this
all right. Well, I mean, we can zip through most of these. The Texans, Ravens. Desi, you picked the Ravens. I think Beth and I are going with the downfall of the Ravens. That they're slowly sinking with their couple of losses, including an incredible one against the Lions. We're looking at the Texans there, but I guess it remains to be seen.
In Baltimore, it's going to be a tough one to win, but even without Lamar. But carry on. I could be wrong.
Then we got the Vikings,
those
Browns.
Injuries, man, at the Ravens. Those injuries too.
Yeah, for sure. Vikings, Browns. As much as I hate to root for the Vikings, and I'm not, I just think they're going to walk all over the Browns. They are still a pretty good team, and the Browns are not. So plus they've got a brand new quarterback. So we'll see how that goes. But Desi, you have faith in the Browns.
Well, listen, the Vikings don't have JJ McCarthy either. Like it's a dumpster fire on both sides. So I mean, who knows? Flip a quarter.
True, very true. All right, then we've got the Raiders versus Colts. I went with the Raiders. I think it was just from nostalgia because we went on a trip last week. You guys went with the Colts. Then
They've been hot lately.
They have.
That's going to be they've been a fun team to watch.
Yeah,
and it's home in Indianapolis, so
right. Also that. Then we got Dolphins Panthers. First of all, I spelled Dolphins correctly this week. Second of all, Desi, you're going with the Panthers. I know they had a great week too, but 2 weeks ago, but you went with the Panthers.
This one, listen, I went just savage this whole week. Like this whole weekend, I'm like, you know what? Upset city, baby.
You did. You absolutely did.
Like, I just feel like, I don't know. This is in Carolina. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
next week, I mean, I could be wrong on all of these.
I mean,
well, and the Panthers,
the Dolphins regularly are disappointing. So there's a good chance that the Panthers could upset them.
There is. And I mean, they're my home state team. I don't specifically root for the Panthers, but if they win, that's great. But I'm not sure they will. But we'll see. Cowboys, Jets. I went with Jets. You guys went with Cowboys. Frankly, I don't know. That was a toss-up for me. I don't think either team is that fantastic. So we'll see what happens.
But the Cowboys have a kicker. The Cowboys have a kicker.
They do. They do. And we'll talk about it before the show is over. But of course, the Cowboys were part of last week's overtime tie situation.
Story.
Yes. So, and then we've got the Giants Saints. And again, Desi, you picked the upset. We see the Saints. So, yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I honestly think the Saints aren't terrible. I actually like their quarterback. I think this is the time of year where maybe he's going to start figuring some things out. The Jets are sans. They benched Russell Wilson. So, any given Sunday.
Exactly. Well, that would make my neighbor very happy. So that'd be great. Titans Cardinals.
Picked that before I realized that Malik Neighbors tore his ACL as well. So
and that too. Yep.
May need to take that back.
I mean,
we'll see.
Titans Cardinals. We all picked the Cardinals, even though they have those tragic jerseys. At least they won't be wearing them this week. And then we all picked the Eagles over the Broncos. I think, to be fair, that's kind of a no-brainer. The Eagles are the team to beat in the NFC right now. So that's where we are.
Oh, and you're a Lions fan? What? No, what?
I know. I don't want them to be the team to beat, but they might be. Like we said after week one, we thought that Green Bay was the best in the league, but they are not. So Eagles and Lions are, that's going to be a tough one. But then Lions, Bengals, we all picked the Lions. Again, the Bengals are beat up. So, and the Lions, knock on wood, are not yet this year beat up. We were last year, even though we had an incredible record. So a healthy Lions team against a beat up Bengals team ought to do pretty well. We got the Bucks versus Seahawks. Again, Desi, you picked the Seahawks. We picked the Bucks. Again, that's one that's probably a toss-up for me.
Well, again, the Bucks have to go across the country. The Seahawks are home. I don't know. I think, and again, I'm trying to have those 49er Bucks tickets be a little bit more reasonable. So I'm still hopeful for a Bucks.
I agree. I agree. That would be great. All right, the Patriots Bills. We all picked the Bills for obvious reasons. Like Beth said a little while ago, when we were actually watching the games, she's like, the fact that we're all rooting for each other's teams means extra anxiety because now it's not just one game we're all anxious about, it's three of them. So, but I think, Bills, Patriots, need we say more?
It's at home, whiteout jerseys, whiteout stadium with the rivalry jerseys. Like the vibe is going to be so strong. I can't fathom any other outcome. saying
And
that, knocking on wood as I speak. But
the record matches that too. I mean, the last several matchups, I mean, it matches. Then we got Commanders versus Chargers. We went with well, again, we're split. Again, Desi, you're the outlier. You're like, let's go Chargers. But I think this could be a toss-up, really. And then for Monday night,
I was going to say, you don't have a Jaden Daniels
right?
heading the Commanders. They got to travel across the country to play the Chargers at home, So I think, Harbaugh has got a lot of faith in his quarterback who's just needed the right coach behind him. I think things are clicking. I mean, again, any given Sunday.
Right. That's the whole point. But then Chiefs, Jaguars, you all picked the Chiefs. I picked the Jaguars. I think the Chiefs are heading toward their downfall, much like the Ravens. So the Jaguars are they the best team in the league? No. But can they potentially hold their own? Possibly. So I think Monday night could be an upset.
Laura,
I really hope you're right, Laura.
No, Laura, we beat them they beat us by only 5 points, and we
Right.
were giving them every freaking opportunity to cap. They should have beat us by like 40 points. The fact that they didn't means that they're not doing well, right? It's just smoke and mirrors. And the Chiefs, it's Monday Night Football. They always show up for Monday Night Football. So I don't ever sleep on Patrick Mahomes. I don't like either team now, just to be clear. I don't like the Jaguars. I don't like the Chiefs. So honestly, I don't want either one of them to win. That's all I got to say about that.
That is fair. I agree. Yeah, the Terradome, the Chiefs ain't what they used to be. I agree. And I think their era is coming to a close. I don't know if the Jaguars will be the one to beat them. I hope they are. But yeah, I think they're on a descent.
I will say, I'm going to put my humble hat on, and I will say it was glorious to see Travis Hunter as such a young athlete in his rookie year play both sides of the ball. It kind of I really wanted to root for him, but for obvious reasons I couldn't. But Travis, you keep out there, buddy. Keep doing your thing. I will take my pettiness out of this segment. But it will come back with events. I love being peak petty over things like this. So, but keep doing your thing, buddy.
That athleticism. You got to honor that athleticism because you don't see that every day. So
true.
No, true. Not at all. So I think, let me just check our notes here. I think, we did want to cover the tied game, Dallas and Green Bay. Who wants to take that?
I mean, I have opinions, right? Because that's sort of my thing. But so, and this falls into our teachable moments, right? As we want to make sure people, are coming out of this with an understanding of the game.
Wait, pause. Hold, please. Teachable moment.
It is. So the overtime rules and the tie rules are both I have opinions. I don't love them. I don't think any football fan loves them, right? But so here's what you need to know. If the teams go into overtime, they're tied at the end of the regular game, they go into overtime, all they have is 10 total minutes to play. But what makes it more interesting, I guess, is you can't win on a field goal. So if the first team to possess a ball only gets a field goal, the other team gets a chance to possess the ball. But in this case, the reason it ended in a tie is because one team possessed the ball, got a field goal. The other team also possessed the ball. And in the last literal 30 seconds, also got a field goal, which then retied the game. If they hadn't scored at all, the other team would have been the winner. But in this case, total tie game, which great for the Lions because they happen to be the Green Bay Packers. So great for us because that puts us solely in first position in the NFC North, and we'll take it. But it's also really stupid. And it used to be sudden death. It used to be 15 minutes. It used to be all these things, but it's not.
However, it's way better that both teams get a chance. Just gonna throw that out there real quick.
Sure.
I was waiting for the Bills comment.
Josh Allen for that. All the
Okay.
rules are being changed for Josh Allen. Left and right. Listen,
Right.
Let the record show that Beth, the Buffalo Bills fan, has the floor. Beth, explain to everybody why this rule change is so important to all of Bills Mafia.
because
ahead, half it was.
Buffalo is so close all the time, and we lost in overtime because we did not score first against the Chiefs in a playoff game. And therefore, the lack of having the ability to return the favor and attempt to play back, it really comes down to you win or lose based off of the coin toss.
Right.
So in order to take the coin toss solution out of it, or the cause of a win or lose based off of a coin toss, the rules were changed so that both teams have the opportunity to score and end in a tie. So everyone should be grateful that there was a tie.
Now, everyone, the 49er now has the floor. And Tara Jones took the words right out of my mouth. Josh Allen cost us the damn Super Bowl.
Sorry.
I mean,
We also have the new rule about the we've got that nice new line, the electronic line that is also because of Josh Allen. So
yes.
Right.
we can talk about that another day.
This is a beautiful full circle moment. I love that all of us had a different view on it. But listen, this is the NFL. We love it. We love, this is exactly why we call it Girlfriends in Football, because we can talk our smack. We can talk our football stuff. We can still root for each other's team, and we can still have a good time. So that's it for our show today, guys. I hope you had a blast. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the recipes. I hope you enjoyed the laughs. Join us again next Wednesday. Hopefully there's no other devastating injuries, but if there is, you can always rely on me and Beth to go ahead and cover that. Laura's going to make sure that we stay on point. She always keeps an eye on me and Beth so we don't go too far left field. So again, thanks for joining us tonight. We hope you had a good time. And with that, happy football. Mwah.
Go Bills.